Your family's performance during the Civil War has not gone unrewarded. I, Pharaoh Menat-Khufu, have awarded your family the rank of Vizier. There is no one else in Egypt that I trust more than you. Now that the twin kingdoms of Upper and Lower Egypt are reunited, and the capital at Wast is thriving, I need you to help me solidify my position throughout the kingdom. While reunited, Egypt is prone to internal skirmishes, particularly in areas that were once loyal to the Henenesu rulers. To help solidify the newly reunited country, I want you to rebuild and defend Menat-Khufu, which was nearly destroyed during the Civil War. Menat-Khufu should be a glorious city that shows Egypt's citizens what is possible under my rule. Famine still stalks the country, and frequent requests for food will come to you from other cities in the kingdom. Respond as quickly as you can to their heart-rending pleas, so that all Egypt will know my benevolence and the dedication of my most trusted vizier. I have one more noble request. I want you to build granite obelisks to further proclaim all I have done for this land in my lifetime. I know that I am asking much of you, but I also know that you are the only one in Egypt capable of doing what I have asked.
G'day mates, welcome back to Pharaoh. Today we're heading into Menat-Khufu, the sister mission to Quebec, and it looks like we're going to be asked for a fair bit of food. Looks like frequent requests for food will come to us from the other cities, so let's go and produce some food. And slow time right down. Okay, that's an odd number to start with. Starting with 1 Devon under 8,000. I have no idea what's going on there. Okay, we've got a bit of an interesting layout here. That is a shocking building layout though. So we're going to get rid of all of these. Oh, okay, that water needed that, so I'm going to have to move that water as well. Looks like I'm going to have to go over this with a fine-toothed comb. This is a fairly average looking city so far, and is that all there is? That's cute. Little interesting little water area down the bottom there. That is the entire city. Okay, that's all there is. And it looks like people are actually coming from the far side of the Nile. So they're coming across. So I suspect we're probably going to put our housing blocks over on this side. There's not a lot of farmland. There is not a lot of farmland. What can we grow? Pomegranates, fig. We can make beer and we can make linen. That's actually not very much farmland at all. You know, it's only one farm wide. Maybe get 2 in there. So it could be a bit of a struggle here. What materials? Raw resources is just plain stone. Do we need plain stone for anything? Nope. What are we doing? Okay, so pyramid is already, we have to build another one. But we don't need plain stone for anything. Can we sell it? Appears not. That's bricks. Okay, looks like plain stone is worth nothing to us. It may be a request later on, I'm not sure. Potter, brick, ship, yep, okay, I think I've got a good handle on this. Have a quick look at the gods. We have Osiris, Ra, and Bast. And Osiris is our patron god. Okay, so we can throw down a temple complex to him for our farming. Get that under control. There is military stuff, and I'm not sure if this is a military mission or not. Anyway, I'm going to poke around, trying to learn my way around this map, and I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, mates, I may have gone a little bit overboard here. I've spent quite a bit of my money. We haven't gone into debt just yet, but I've thrown down 2 big-ass housing blocks and, of course, room for Festival Square at a later date. There's a third one planned out down here, and I'm suspecting that I think we need 7,000. I forgot to check. Yeah, we need 7,000 people. I remember seeing that in the intro sequence. So we need, this is not going to cut it, not by a long shot. I may even just leave that as sort of glorified feeder housing. It might get fed up. Maybe I'll throw over some pottery if I'm in a good mood. This over here, though, is going to be the majority, the sort of the centre, the main part of my city. Thank you very much. So we've got a lot of people that are going to need to move in. They are hopefully on their way. Let's have a quick look how much more housing we have. 1,000 more people, nearly. And of course, that will increase as these begin to level up. I'm going to throw in some water carriers, and I think we'll be prepared. I'm going to begin to... I've thrown down a lot of different food types here. I've got So that pomegranates and figs down here. And they're throwing in a couple more work camps. That should keep us going, I think, for any food requests. We're going to just stockpile it on this side. I'm not really going to bother. Over here is going to be a little bit more difficult. We really only have barley and flax as our sources of income. And, I mean, it's a fairly long thing. We should be able to feed these people as well. But who was it? There you go. Men the Fair will buy barley. Will buy beer via water trade route. That's where I think our money's going to come from. Wast won't buy anything. Nobody else will trade anything at all. It looks like Duckla Oasis, the one we built at the final part of the Old Kingdom over here, will buy a tiny little bit of linen. It's probably not even worth my effort setting up an industry that early on. I think I'll focus on beer and then come back to this one when I've got a little bit more breathing room. Okay, look at this. 3rd month in, we already have a request for 1,100 pomegranates. We have 7 months to comply, which means when are you going to be? In August, which means we have enough time to actually go down and have one harvest. The question is, yeah, the pomegranates were the first ones to be taken, which is good. The figs, we may not get that many because the labourers have a long way to travel down. Maybe worth my time later on putting a mini housing block down here, just so we can get the work camps much quicker here. Anyway, we're about to head into debt. We've got 9 Debons, so next month we are going to, thank you very much, out of money. There we go, brilliant timing. So we've got 2,500 Debons, that's pretty good. And it's rescue funds. What we're going to do with that is, you know what, we may not actually get there in the first year. I had hoped that these guys would manage to sort of pick it up, but I don't think they're going to get there in time. Either way, we're not going to have any barley for this year. I'm planning on having a little barley processing plant up here. I had thought about having it here in the centre, but I'm looking at what I'm going to need to import. And raw materials, we have no clay, so I think I'm going to have this as a big clay processing area and possibly even weaving at a later date. We'll see how we go. Okay, and the supply of food has just come in, so we can actually comply and send off. We got a fair amount, I think, by the looks of things. I'm not going to feed our people just yet. The bazaar will grab some food if we've got a stockpile, but these guys will default automatically to dropping it off in the warehouses, which is fine for the time being. If they do happen to have enough food, I'm not going to make this a getting warehouse just yet. It's going to be just a regular. Then, of course, we will feed them temporarily. Well, I regret throwing down these barley farms now. They didn't get used at all, and already their fertility has dropped. So, fertility drops, the way it works is as soon as the flood comes in, or the harvest season finishes, it will all drop, and we will sort of have to suffer through that, even if you don't actually grow anything from it. So, let's throw down some irrigation ditches, and hope that we can still get a fair bit of barley out of this. I may have to throw down a couple more in the future. And with that, we've got our barley harvest has come in, and it's come in hardcore. We got a lot of barley here. Hopefully they will, yep, they've stocked everyone up. I've got a fair bit that we can store and get ready for the rest of the year. We have gone fairly significantly into debt, as you can see up here. Hopefully these people are going to be able to store up enough. Ooh, indifferent to us. Yeah, unemployment is a problem, and struggling at the moment with the amount of cash we've got. I really do need to get some stuff in. I absolutely hate destroying houses, so I'm going to avoid doing that as much as possible. Probably shouldn't have fed these guys either, but it doesn't matter. We're going to work through it. Hopefully we can get the cash coming up every month that ticks by. We lose about 150 to what we're paying our people. And Pharaoh, let's just say Pharaoh's not going to be happy. Yeah, we're at 54. Expect that to plunge much lower in the coming months. Okay, here we go. First purchase of beer. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. It has, I think it's halved our debt. That's not bad. It's not too bad at all. We've also had a big request for, what do they call their figs? We had a big, huge amount for figs that came in, which is lucky, because we didn't have very many pomegranates available. But a big supply of figs, and we have cut into that, thankfully. Hopefully we won't have too many more big requests like that in a row, because we're struggling a little bit here. Okay, and with that we are out of the black. We had a major problem. All 3 of these areas suffered a major plague strike, which was a bit unfortunate. So every single industry stopped working. We had a bit of a plague spiral for a while, which stopped all industries, and our money was wavering very low. So we've had 2 debt anniversaries. Pharaoh is mightily pissed off at us, but we've gone up from 14 up to 19 now due to a quick pomegranate request that I managed to fulfill, thankfully. Now I'm working on feeding these people over here. I have connected the 2 halves of the city, so I suppose food can flow between them as required. Hopefully we can hold on for a bit longer, because none of these got staffed at all. Nothing. None of the farms got staffed. And on top of that, floods have been abysmal. So I think this may be a lost cause. I'm going to keep playing because, well, I may be able to rescue it, and it would be no fun if I quit now. Okay, big request for figs. We've got nothing in storage due to a couple of bad seasons, but hopefully everything last season was pretty good. The flood was, yeah, about as good as that. So hopefully we have enough figs coming in this time to fill that up. And yeah, beautiful. If we can get in quick, there we go. The problem, of course, is that we do need to fill sort of a food black hole in the city at the moment. People are holding on reasonably well, but I suspect things are going to go downhill quickly. Hopefully we can get a bit more money as well. Osiris is a prick. Alrighty, cash reserves are hovering at about 1,000 now. I can do some light construction. I've managed to finally rebuild everything and get ourselves back out of debt. Luckily I remembered before most of the season was gone. So those farms are back under control. We got down here some beautiful flax farms. They're coming up. Actually, I do need to irrigate them. I will very quickly do that while I'm here on camera and actually remembering it. I think they're all done. Anyway, what I was going to do is set up a little weaving area. Weavery. That's what I'm looking for. It's complicated words here sometimes. I cannot think and do at the same time. Real problem. We've got here a little weavery set up, and I've got space here for more industry later. They don't actually export very much linen, so I suppose I'll probably use this for pottery. Excuse me, in the near future, probably import to a clay yard here. So let's have a quick look at where we can... who will buy our... There we go. So you'll buy our linen. You're only going to buy 1,500 units a year, so I'm probably already overstripping it, but we can use it for various health-related things if required. Okay, cash is pretty solidly in the black now. I have only ducked down once through mistaken building of a festival square over here. But we are ready to actually... Excellent timing. We are ready to start moving into pottery. So I've set all the pottery up. I've got the warehouses ready. All we need to do is actually import it. We're going to do that through Wust, who will not buy anything from us, but will sell us the various things that we do require. Okay, this is interesting. Dakla Oasis is now willing to trade more rolls of linen, which is very unfortunate because I've just bulldozed a whole bunch of flax farms 20 seconds ago, 10 seconds ago maybe, just before that popped up. So, very unfortunate. Hopefully though, our weavers can actually keep up with the increased trading. Let's have a quick peek at what they'll do. They'll buy 2,500. That's not bad. That's not bad. This is a land trade route, so I probably don't necessarily need to have it here. I could set up a more dedicated weaving area over here and just have this entirely to be pottery. But we'll see how we go in the near future. I've been trying to figure this one out for quite a long while. Pomegranates seem to be produced at a much lower amount than figs. You can see here none of the food is being produced very well because floods have been atrocious. But it appears that pomegranates always seem to be lower than the others. The only reason these two are balanced out now is because I'm feeding people almost exclusively on figs at this point in time. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on here. This is a bit of a confusing situation. I've had regular requests for pomegranates, which I've just fulfilled, and I can't seem to keep up in terms of pomegranates. We're just never catching up. So I've stopped consuming them, and hopefully thrown down a couple more farms right down the bottom here. There's a lot of pomegranates there, so hopefully we can balance it all out. Okay, we've had a very good flood, which is very nice, and on top of that I received another blessing, or a single blessing, to, what's his name, from Osiris. I've been throwing a couple of festivals to him, and he's blessed the next flood, which should be good now, which is acceptable. The downside, of course, is, what is the downside? People seem to be moving out, and it's because beer, there you go. We haven't had sufficient amounts of beer being produced because these barley farms have not been producing enough. So we hopefully are not going to enter a little bit of death spiral. I can get rid of some of this unemployment absorption I was doing over here. But our cash is plummeting. That is the downside. So I'm going to need to put some serious effort into getting us back out of debt. Okay, this is Pharaoh's army absolutely ripping through the western half of our city. Hopefully they don't destroy that one over there, because I don't know if we can rebuild it. But they are absolutely decimating everything. We're going to lose all our food, which is probably going to set us way back. I don't think they can cross over. The problem is I went into debt by about 6,000 building this little housing block down here, and I wasn't paying attention to how much debt I was in. I'm obviously out of it now, but I pissed Pharaoh off quite severely. So, yeah, I suppose a more power gamer person would reload here, but I'm keen to just keep on going. I actually really enjoy when things go wrong a little bit like this. Hopefully, I don't know what I'm going to do. He's gonna destroy everything down here. I'm going to have to rebuild, but I suppose we've got the cash rolling in now. So, oh, that's not good. Where is that coming from? Looks like we have a bit of a crime problem as well. No problem. I will have to see to that shortly. Okay, it looks like some of them are leaving, but they're... Yeah, I'm not going to get that, mate. You just destroyed all my farmland, so you're burning your own bloody backyard here. But either way, this fella... What are they all doing here? They're just sitting there for the time being. The flood wasn't big enough to actually destroy any of them. Unfortunately, yeah, our fires are going to be spreading through the city. You know what, I may as well just destroy them now to stop those annoying bloody pop-ups from coming. So we're going to have to rebuild this bit of the city over here, which it would be nice, actually. It really has been the sort of the crappy part of town for a long time. Looks like Pharaoh is again leaving. There's only a couple of archers left behind. If I can make Pharaoh just a little bit happier, because he's obviously going to get pissed off when I don't get those done, but if I can send another gift to him, he may well come back on side. Okay, this side has been retouched up and starting to look a little bit better now. I'm going to need to, thank you, I'm going to need to throw a, what do you call them? A granary in here somewhere. I'm thinking up just behind here might actually be the ideal place to throw it. We'll see how we go anyway. But the side is back under control. The farms, I don't necessarily feel are as good as they were before. We are probably short on figs by quite a bit, so I'll need to throw more down here. But I didn't want to go too deeply into debt this time. Okay, the struggles are ongoing, but beautiful lavish festival. Struggles are ongoing, but cash appears to be stabilized out. And in the background, you may notice here, we have a fair bit of granite. We have so much, in fact, that we can actually throw down our small obelisk. Now, where are we going to put that one? I could probably throw that in the middle here. I don't expect me to need to level this area up too much. So I think a small obelisk built in right here would be very nice. And the obelisk is done. Oh, it's beautiful, sitting right there in the city. Are there any other... Oh, actually, there appears to be a second one. How many are we doing again? I've forgotten. We are doing... Where are we? 2 obelisks. Okay, let's throw the second one down once we end up getting enough granite. Okay, I'm fairly certain we can throw down the final obelisk, and it should probably go within one of these 2 blocks down here. I mean, I could throw it on this side, but it's a bit of a shitty side over there, which wouldn't look too bad there. No, I think I'm going to throw it in here. I'm going to put it in right behind these buildings. Thank you. Right behind these buildings, right there. I think that's where we're going to put it. And the second obelisk is done. Look at that, looking nice in the city there. I will, once I've got my mortuaries and everything set up, I think I'm going to basically just garden up the centre. I'm not going to bother with statues and whatnot, although there is space in there. I'll have to see what happens, but a couple of gardens around the obelisk should look beautiful. And with that, we're basically working towards 7,000 population. Now, the mission's taking essentially continuous festivals to Osiris. I really can't get around it any other way. The floods have been appalling on this. I've had to take a couple of barley farms down and put in more food there. We are just struggling for food all over the place, and I'm not really sure how we can do it. I may have to feed, say, this side just on figs and that side just on pomegranates or something to... Ah, brilliant, thank you. Just to balance everything out, because I really don't know how to approach it. It's just an ongoing concern. We've run out of food nearly every single year, despite regular Osiris blessings and essentially the entire floodplain under farm. So I'm going to have to see how I can beat this. And we've entered another debt spiral. I'm completely out of credit. I have no idea what this game does. It just seems to spiral in. For some reason, we're making virtually no money off exports at all. Like income's gone from, we're only halfway through the year here, but exports earned only 4,000 last year, which is a very small amount compared to what it was. The only thing I can think of is that we're using all the beer, which is probably likely. Beer was our main export, but even then linen is hardly making anything. It's just these regular floods that are so very low are just, they're appalling. I don't know what's causing them. This is a shocking map to play on. Really, it's starting to get a little bit old now because I've overcome the main challenge, and I did forget to keep running Osiris things for a little while, and it is apparently... yeah, he's happy, he just hasn't blessed me for a while. So that's basically destroyed the city. So we'll see what happens. Pharaoh's army is on the way. If it comes to the west again, it'll be painful, but I will be able to rebuild. If it comes to the east, I will have completely lost the mission. So let's see how we go. Okay, this city has become completely unwinnable. I have too many people, too many staff working, and quite frankly, the city is beginning to collapse in on itself. Tax dollars and tax incomes have collapsed. We've got no pottery coming in. We just cannot afford the pottery. Perhaps because we're so far in debt, we're not actually buying any more clay in. And so we have entered a death spiral. I'm actually going to edit this one together. I'm going to throw this one up probably in a compressed form, and then I will get back to it. And so this episode is going to be the end of it. This is the end of Menat-Khufu. I am going to throw this together though, and I'll see you in another 2 days while I work on Menat-Khufu. I suppose the one that actually works. Round 2 will be coming up. So I've been Blxz. This has been Pharaoh. It's been a very shocking episode of Pharaoh, but it has been Pharaoh nonetheless. I will see you guys next time. Take care.